Hey, how's it going, friends? Dave here. I don't have anything to open today. Instead, I wanted to take a little bit of time and tell you a little bit about myself. I've gotten to learn about a handful of you and wanted to kind of walk you through what I collect, what I'm into, things like that. In case you're either checking out the channel for the first time or you're interested in learning a little bit more about me. So, my PC is made up of mainly three guys. The first guy is Fred Taylor. This is a 101. But the second guy is Mark Brunell. Now, you may ask, why Fred Taylor and Mark Brunell? Well, growing up, on my stepdad's side of the family, his brother was a huge Denver Broncos fan. And whenever we got together at Christmas and stuff, he'd always give me crap about my Vikings, who, had some ups and downs throughout the course of the late 90s, early 2000s. But the Broncos were pretty good, especially when Elway was around. And, feeling pretty good, riding high. So I kind of gravitated towards the Jaguars. They were a relatively new team. They had a lot of excitement and potential, and they had just this stud running back, Fred Taylor, who the guy is just a beast. I mean, he could do it all. He could run, he could catch, which I think he would tell you he felt he, probably wasn't that great of a pass catcher, but if you go watch some clips, he's got a lot of long catch and runs. But just a complete back. He's over 10,000 yards for his career, and that's with missing a ton of games. That was kind of his one downfall, is he could never stay healthy. Had he stayed healthy for his whole career, I mean, he'd already be in the Hall of Fame, and he'd probably be, I think he's like number, I forget off the top of my head, like 15 all-time in rushing. He would definitely be top 10 for sure, if not knock on the door of top 5. I mean, he was that good, and the Jags were that good. And one of the other things that I always really liked about Mark Brunell, the guy was kind of a bit of an underdog from the standpoint of, drafted in Green Bay, was a backup, eventually made his way to the Jaguars as part of the expansion team. But he's a short little lefty, and he really had no business in playing in the NFL. He had a great career at Washington, but at just a hair over 6 foot and a lefty, you don't really see that much. And he always reminded me of my dad, because my dad is a short little lefty, although my dad's not anywhere near as athletic as Mark Brunell was. But growing up playing football in the yard with my dad and my brother, and getting those left-handed passes, in my mind it was always, here's Mark Brunell, and at the time I was Jimmy Smith, because he was the best receiver on the Jags. Now, don't get me wrong, I am an absolutely huge Vikings fan. They will always be my number one team, without a doubt. But the Jags growing up were my number 2 team. So that kind of brings us to this next card here. Mr. Tom Brady, the greatest quarterback of all time himself. And really what kind of drew me to Tom Brady and the Patriots were just the underdog status. Tom Brady was a sixth round pick. If you go back and watch any of his highlights from the Combine and see any of the video, again, the dude did not look like an athlete, did not look like a quarterback, didn't look like he belonged in the NFL. But he's obviously proved everybody wrong. He just has this amazing will to win and a desire to win. And, he's done it. He's proved it. And he does what it takes to be the greatest of all time. Now, the other thing that's drawn me to the Patriots over the years is Bill Belichick. And I know this is going to be super controversial with Spygate and everything else, but the dude is an amazing coach. He just does whatever it takes to win. Sometimes playing in that gray area, and but he finds a way to get it done, and he finds the right guys, and he has the mentality of do your job, don't worry about anybody else, and next man up, and we're gonna win as a team, and we're just gonna outwork, out prepare, and out execute the other team. And that's really how they do it, on top of, riding Brady's arm. And yes, this is a real Bowman Chrome. It's not a reprint. I got this, I think, probably in the early 2000s after their first Super Bowl. I don't think I pulled this from the pack. I think I picked it up from a card store at the time that's no longer in existence for $20. And if you know what this goes for on eBay, that's probably the best card investment I've ever made in my life. But I do have a brand new PC guy to show you guys today. His name is Jake Wieneke. He's a 6'4" receiver from the University of South Dakota. This is actually his 101 from the brand new Sage product. And Jake is now being added to my PC because he's from the town that I grew up in. And I literally have spent the majority of my life, if not all of it, in the same city. Now, I don't know him personally or anything like that. I don't know his family, nothing like that. But he's a local guy. He's a hometown guy. Right now, he's shaping up to be probably a 6th, 7th round pick. The best thing he's got going for him is his size and productivity. I think the dude caught over 11 touchdowns every year in college. He only had one D1 offer, and that was at SDSU. His probably biggest weakness is he's not super fast. I think he ran a 4.67 at the combine. But he does a really good job of shielding defenders with his body. He can go up and get the football, high point it. He's really good inside the 20, as can be seen by all his touchdowns. And I think he's got a chance to stick on an NFL roster for a while, at the very minimum. And his upside is all going to be about his route running. And during his time in the NFL, how much does he improve on his route running, and can he get just a little bit faster to get a little bit more separation? But he's got great hands, and like I said, he's the local guy, so I'm really rooting for him. So if you do come across any Jake Wienekes, let me know. We can work something out for sure. And he's one of the guys, other than probably the quarterbacks, that I'll really be looking forward to pulling in the 2018 product this year. Now, just kind of a couple things outside of collecting about me. So I'm pretty active in my church. I'm on our board of elders, or deacons as we call them. I've been born, baptized, confirmed, grew up in my church. It's a old school wooden pew and an organ Lutheran church. Still use hymnals, no screens, anything like that. But I'm also very active in our school. I don't have kids. I'm not married. I went to grade school there from K through 8. I've been on the Board of Education, or the school board there, for over 3 years. And it's been a lot of fun. And for me, it's been a way to give back to a school that gave me so much. It really prepared me really well for high school. And it was just a really great experience. So that's kind of what a lot of my time outside of work goes towards, and outside of making YouTube videos. So that's also one of the reasons why I'll make, when I have time, 4 videos in a row and upload them over the course of a handful of days, because I can't make a video every night, because I'm probably there 2-3 nights a week for various types of meetings. And the last thing, outside of collecting cards, I work for a medical device company here in Minnesota. It's absolutely awesome. I love every day being able to come home from work And regardless of how maybe crappy the day was or whatever kind of mood I'm in, knowing that the work I did today went to go help save someone's life. And not just old people, but young people. I think our devices have even been implanted in a newborn, relatively newborn. I think a couple months is the youngest that we've done. And it's just really cool and really rewarding. And I'm not saying that to brag, but it's one of those things where on Sunday nights, I've never once said, man, I really don't want to go to work today, because the point of the patient and making a good product to save people's lives is really what keeps me there and keeps me motivated, especially since I'm within operations and production. We're touching and making parts that are going into patients, which is super cool. And then the other thing on here is baseball. So I don't really collect baseball anymore. I collected a lot growing up, and it was really tough when I got back into collecting to start picking up baseball, just because I've been kind of disconnected from it. So it's really tough to filter through all the prospects. And frankly, I don't have as much time now as I did when I was younger to watch 162 games, watch hours and hours of SportsCenter, Baseball Tonight, things like that. But I still like playing it. And I play in a men's league, actually in Maple Grove, where Jake Winicky is from. And I've been doing that. This is my fourth season. I'm not amazing, but it's fun. It's cool to do. And this is actually going to be the first year that my younger brother is old enough to play with me, because there's a minimum age for the league. And I'm super stoked about that. We haven't had a chance to play sports together since high school, my senior year, his freshman year. We were able to play football and baseball together. And baseball was always his sport. Football has always been my sport. But this will be the first time again in years that we've been able to be on the same field together playing. So I'm really looking forward to this baseball season and Sunday nights over the course of the summer. So with that, thank you guys for watching. Thank you as always for checking out my videos, even if they're mail days that maybe aren't as exciting, or if I'm breaking a box that I don't pull a monster hit out of, or if it's just a long video of me talking like this. I really appreciate it. I've loved getting to know the handful of you that I've gotten to know pretty well so far, and I really look forward to getting to know more of you. So, as always, feel free to drop something in the comments below. Drop comments in any of my videos. I try to at least, thumbs up everything and read everything and try to reply to most. But I love talking football, so if you ever want to talk football, let me know, because I can go for hours. But with that, I'll let you go. Thank you again for everything, and we'll catch you around the corner for the next video. Have a great one.